Hi guys, welcome to Rosa Nyarath Network, and this is Inspire to Aspire. And I'm glad to introduce to you a new segment known as No Rosa. I know there's a lot of things that you would want to know about me and questions you would want me to answer. So kindly, if you have any question, just drop it down there and we see if I can be able to answer. But for this particular one, I do not know what is inside here. It has been prepared by the director and I'm just about to go. I'm actually nervous about it because I don't know the kind of questions, and I'll try my level best to answer them the best way and to be very truthful about it. Please like, share and leave a comment down below, and thank you so much for still being around with us and for continued support. Yeah, let's go straight ahead. I'm really anxious about it. So question 1. What was one common thing that used to piss you off when you were single? One common thing that used to piss me off when I was single. Number 1, actually there are so many, I don't know if I just say that one. Unaolewa lini? There's this question that you are asked here and there with almost everyone. Tunakula mchele lini? When are we cutting the cake? When are you bringing the guy home? So that one particular question that comes with a lot of pressure, that was one major one. Amongst all the questions, that was the biggest one of all, because you cannot predict a date when you're single. Maybe you're not even seeing someone at that particular time, and you meet an auntie, a friend, and that's what they'll ask. Unaolewa lini? So that was the question. I think I have exhausted that. Question 2. What was the main challenge for you what was the main challenge for me in settling down? In settling down, the main challenge. Wow, I didn't expect these intense questions. Nilikuwa nadhani ni maji. So, let me just read the question again. What was the main challenge for you in settling down? I'm trying to figure out the main. This should be, I don't know if I can ask the director question how to answer it in I had a challenge in settling down, that is all through my singlehood, and then when I've met someone. So do I answer it in the sense of when I've met or before meeting? Before meeting. So before meeting, my biggest challenge was I started with the financial. I was overly ambitious when dating, and kila mtu utaka bazu. So I wanted someone that has kwacha and can give me a lifestyle that I thought I deserved. So that was my number 1 challenge that I had to learn to put off. Hope this is easier. What is your love language? Does your husband know? The question is, do I know? So my love language seems to change over time, and maybe the more I understand myself, because I haven't been understanding myself for a long time. I used to assume, and let me explain before I even mention my love language. There are things I used to see other couples do, or rather, I used to admire from the influencers, from movies, from everything, and I really wished they would be done to me. And so for that reason, I thought that was my love language. Like touch, for me, I thought touch was my number one love language. And so I wanted, and how do I even put it? It's not just touch, it's touch and public, yes, PDA, public display of affection. So I wanted someone that would hold me in public, hold my hand, talk to me, hug, like extreme PDA. Then in my dating life, unfortunately, I didn't get it. Then now I got into marriage, knowing that that is my love language, only for me to get someone that PDA does not mind PDA, like he's extreme. Then I figured out that I actually mind. I'm the shy one now. I don't want to be held anyhow. Now that he's giving it, I'm not feeling comfortable, and I learned that that was not my love language. And with time, I've learned that actually it's time. What is it called? What time? Quality time. So for now, I really, really value quality time, and I enjoy gifting. I don't think it's my love language. My husband, does he know? That was another question. He tries. He tries to figure out, because he's a gifter. I think that is his love language, and he gifts a lot, but he has never understood that it's quality time. Because even during introduction, I told him mine is touch and public display of affection, and then he gave all that, and I cringe when I'm in public and he overdoes it. I hope that question is answered. And what's one comment that you didn't like? One comment on singlehood. What's one thing that you didn't like? So I'll assume this is in singlehood. What one comment I didn't like? Imenirusha. So let me pass, as I think. One thing I didn't like. I'll still think about it. What was your desired age to get married? Did it happen? No. Did it happen? I start with did it happen? No. I really wanted to get, according to my plan and schedule, I wanted to get married at 25. And my entire life I've been dating for marriage. So, and it never really happened. So I got married, fortunately. Right now I can say it's fortunately. Back then I used to think it's unfortunate. But fortunately at 33, I was very ripe for marriage. Right now, if I look at what marriage is, if I got married at 25, the person I was at 25 would not stand, or rather would not sustain this marriage. How did you know your husband is the one? Mko na time? So how did I know? First, when now I got, by the time I was getting now to be serious on dating him, I was at a stage where I had made peace with myself that not every man is a husband. Not anyone you meet that says they love you can make a husband. So I had a meeting with myself, asked myself, what do I really want and what can I offer? And I was big on what can I give as opposed to what I can receive, because at that time, before then, All I wanted was, what can I get from these relationships? Then I learned it's more of giving than receiving. So I asked myself, what am I willing to give, and what are my expectations? Then I wrote all my expectations down and the type of man I wanted, and did an elimination method with the suitors that were around. And there were left 3 at that particular time. So I was in prayers, like soul searching and prayers and God, because this time I was determined I wanted to hear the voice of God before I marry. And the voice of God came. So he ticked 8 boxes out of my 10. He missed 2, which was a good sign for me. 2, his consistency. He was very consistent in his pursuing. Because I remember when he first approached me, I told him I wasn't ready. And he went. And he came again, and I told him I'm not in a position to date. And he disappeared. And he came back after 2 years. And he tried again. And that's when I actually told him, yes, I would try dating, but I'm now open to date, but there's a long list. And in that list, you're position 10. So I did the elimination method, and he got to position 3, and that's how we got to 1. And I knew the consistency was what pulled me to him. So, hey, what would you advise your single self? Hey, hata naweza ichapa kiboko kwanza. But anyway, what would I advise my single self? Wait and be patient. Listen to God. Do not rush. Wait. Know what you want. Know what you can give. Be patient with yourself. Love yourself. Spoil yourself. Build yourself. Grow yourself. And wait upon God. I think for now that's it. But I can have a whole book about self. Do you think marriage works? Yes, it does. Based on the example marriage I've seen ahead of me that are working, based on the people I look up to that I'm seeing their marriages work, based on the part of faith where I know that God is the one that ordained marriage, and finally by the fact that I am determined to make sure mine works and live. Like, I've learned so many things that I feel if I put them into action, then it can actually work. If I can just add something, yes, I know marriage has challenges, and I know marriage can be difficult, but I also know that it works if you're in it and if you're willing to work it. Alafu, who is your celebrity crush? Curtain closed. It's very... Pass. Narudi, I'll finish with this. If you were to repeat your wedding, what would you change? Hey, a ton of things. I really enjoyed my wedding to begin with, and I loved how it came out, and I loved the teamwork and everything that happened. But number one, what would I change? I went for an evening photo session, and I thought it was a very brilliant idea, but I would change it. Reason being, one, people are exhausted. By the time the wedding is over, the bride, the groom is exhausted, the crew are exhausted, and the bridal team are also exhausted. They've sacrificed, they've left things hanging. So I would change that. Like in my photo session, 2 of my bridesmaids were not there. And that is because one had left a child, they needed to go and follow up, and there was this other one that had another commitment. So you see, the evening rush, they could not make it for the photo session. That was the one miss. Number 2, and the children also missed. I don't have photos for the children during the wedding. So that's one. Number 2, I would relax more. If that is part of something that I will change, I will try to be a bit relaxed, because I had a very supportive team, but I still felt like I needed to do so much. So I will just relax and let everything fall in place. And having children on the lineup, I just learned that actually I learned during my wedding, and almost probably a week or 2 to the wedding, that I needed someone to coach them, something I didn't know. So I had children and they weren't prepped. And if you guys can go back to the wedding and watch, you'll see them walking down, but they didn't actually know even what they are doing. And it was all my fault because I did not plan in advance. So I would make sure the children are well taken care of. Anything else? I think that's it. And the final one, okay, we did it, but it's something that I learned last minute as well. So I'm just giving it for anyone that needs. I would prefer, especially now with the era of Airbnb, for you to book an Airbnb for your morning preparation and evening preparation from where the brides are coming from, as opposed to a family house. That one I learned the last minute and the hard way. Is your husband your first boyfriend? Is the last boyfriend? No. The answer is no. He's actually my last boyfriend. Hopefully, we pray to God till death do us part. Ndiye akuwe tu wa mwisho kabisa. Dating is not easy out here. No one wants to go back to the market. Aya. Do you have a couple that you admire and why? Yes, plenty. I'll start with number 1. Do I need to mention them? Yes. I'll start with number 1. Our best couple. These ones, I just love their relationship. I love the way they love each other, and I love how they build each other, like ile kuboost mwenzako, support ego, nini, like all things round. And when you see them together, you just know that these people are there for each other. This other couple, right now I can't call them really a Christian couple, but they are a good couple to emulate when it comes to growth, business-wise, support financial-wise, and what you show to the public. What I mean by what you show to the public is I am pro, let people out there know that you're living your best life. Get back home and fight in secret. Like, usianike mwenzako negatively out there. do not bash each other, do not. So this is why I'm taking this couple. They are also a younger couple, probably younger than me, not younger in marriage, but younger in age. That is the current Diana and Bahati. Remember the 3 reasons I've said why I admire them as a couple. And the other couple that I admire are, now this one is late. I used to admire how they publicly love each other. That is all. Because most couples that I see them on face value. And the reason I've used my best couple as number 1, it's because I don't only see them as on face value, but I also see them in depth as a couple. So these ones I also see on depth value, and I loved the way they love each other. Those are the Kiunas. I used to love how the man publicly and loudly loved the wife. And yeah, that's why I admire them. Nimemaliza. Huyu ni lenye niliweka kando. This is. And the second last one, because there's the last one I haven't. Would you have a male best friend? Shaky sana. Things, or rather times have changed. I used to think I would. I used to have friends that I would call best friends in terms of male. But after marriage and with time, I've learned that it is not healthy to keep a best male friend. So right now, I wouldn't have a best male friend, but I will have, I still have friends, male who are friends, but the level of friendship has limits and boundaries. So, no. Back to this one. Unaweza sahau jina ya crush? Unaweza sahau jina crush? Sasa if your crush, I used to have, sijui kama he was my crush, saizi sina crush. So should I mention him or not? I'm a producer now. I think he's married. I know, okay, he's actually married and I am married. What changed is when I realized that my crush was actually married. That was, you know, see, when you crush, you're not just crushing, you're crushing. For me, I've always worked on marriage. End goal, my end goal has always been marriage. So if I'm crushing on you, I'm crushing on you in the sense that tukikutana, we are dating and we are getting married. Aki sitamchomea, si ati ananijua hata nikimchomea, but I'll just give you a hint. A hint will work, right? He's currently on Citizen TV, The Gang. Mujijazie. Mwende muwatch The Gang, News Gang. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching to the end. And I hope you got something here. Which question do you feel like I did not answer correctly or the way you wanted? Or you would want me to expound more on? Please drop a comment down below. And thank you so much. Adios.